we need to do now before our break is we need to find a theme or a story for forum theater. It's about oppression. So let's just see if we can think of who or what would be an oppressor in our life.
So government.
Let's say the government, definitely. I think most of us can relate to that. Who else?
Males.
Yes.
Females.
Our bosses.
The school bully.
Mothers-in-law. The school,
Oh my god, these mothers-in-law poor things.
the school bully.
The headmaster.
The headmaster.
Oh.
Bully.
Bully headmaster.
Okay, so there are a lot of examples, but this is still quite general, and I'm not asking you here to go into very personal stories. It can also be somebody else's story, but I will ask you to work a little bit in smaller groups to try to find one, let's say one type of oppression that you would be interested in exploring further, and perhaps try to find some examples of it. So you don't have to use bullying, I just chose it now as an example, but you can also use systemic oppression, where the characters would be the government and the people. So I would leave it up to them to choose a problem, and most of the times, this has happened to me in every workshop that I've led on this subject, is that people would actually pinpoint something that is really bothering them. We need to find a story that will best represent the issue that we want to speak about. So let's see, if we're talking about social media pressure, who do we want as our oppressed person? A teenager. Okay, so the teenager will be our oppressed person. A boy or a girl?
A girl.
A girl? Okay. Does she have any allies? Does she have somebody that supports her, that's on her side? Her best friend?
Her mom.
Her mom?
I'm saying in an ideal world.
In an ideal world, it can be a teacher. I mean, it can be all of these people, so it doesn't have to be one person. Let's just see what the options are. Is she close, or does she think she's close to somebody online who perhaps she hadn't met in real life?
Maybe she feels close to somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, so there can be a person that she's met online. Who is this person? How do they represent themselves online? So is there such a person?
Yes.
Yes. And how do we, let's say, how do we see it? What does that person look like on Instagram?
Very, very similar to her own lifestyle, someone who most importantly shows that he or she understands.
So it's another teenage girl
Or a teenage boy.
or a teenage boy, okay?
Similar age.
Okay, similar age, similar interests, I suppose. Do they live anywhere, let's say, close to each other, or
No.
that person lives somewhere across the world, but they understand?
I'll say America.
Okay, good. Now we have a few possible relationships, so for people who will be, let's say, supporters. So a best friend in real life, that could be somebody she goes to school with or she's known since childhood. There's the mother, teacher that she trusts, and there's a person online somewhere very far away, but a person who really understands. And now let's try to find the oppressor. This is a bit more difficult because, as we've said, it's the system of the media, and there's probably many more of them, but let's try to put that all in one person. Who is that person who would be the oppressor? Is it an influencer? Okay, so now let's say we have the influencer who's of a similar age. Is it a girl or a boy? Did we establish that?
Can I just
Girl.
ask you
Yeah, the
how
girl.
old a teenager is, because there's a huge difference between
also
13 and 19.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't establish that. So how old is the teenage girl?
We said 13.
13. Okay. So, and how old is the influencer? Shall we use this story of a
Yes.
YouTube star? I think it's great. Okay, so how old is the YouTuber?
Maybe
19.
a year or two
15.
older.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 15 and 13. Okay, what does she do? Is there something specific that she does? This is a YouTube star who films herself doing everyday stuff, and then there are challenges. This is how she communicates with her audience. Let's give our teenage girl a name.
Claudia.
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 Okay, so Claudia is 13, and she's an avid follower of, how are we going to call our YouTube star?
Sassy.
Sassy. Okay, so she follows Sassy on all the social media.
Stanislav. Sassy.
And we also have her friend, her name will be, or is it a girlfriend or a boyfriend?
I think it would be interesting to have a boyfriend there. We don't have a boy.
How are we going to call him?
Ben.
Ben. Okay, so we have Claudia, Ben, and Sassy. That's for now, we'll add on more characters. Ben is the person who also follows Sassy, who's very into challenges, and who always makes Claudia go through the challenges. Do they do it together, or is he the one that wants to see Claudia doing the challenges, but he doesn't do it himself?
Maybe he does it by himself,
Mm-hmm.
and he manages to do them all.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what's causing,
Ah,
this is
okay.
another source of frustration for
Yes.
Claudia.
So because he's very good at it.
Yes, he's very good at it, but she's
Perfect.